Good evening, everybody. This is Steve Brown, BrownSupport.com. I've thought of something a little bit different. I'm still doing my 20 and 30. I'm going to find 20 people who believe and can know that they can grow and be better and make something of their life greater than what they already have. So many people want something else. They need something else. Well, thankfully I have something. And if you're curious what it is, let me know. I'll be glad to share it with you. If it's for you, wonderful. If it's not, that's wonderful too. I still love you anyway. But just want to give you a heads up. What I got this over the weekend. It was recommended to me by Burt Kramer. He is the owner of Proformance Fitness. It is the 4 Agreements Toltec Wisdom Book by Don Miguel Ruiz. Amazing book. I've already finished it. I actually went through and got the iTunes audiobook. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 4 episodes going over each of the 4 agreements. Now, each agreement talks on a different level, but all 4 agreements work together to build you as a person, to help you understand where our belief systems come from and figure out what these agreements are. These agreements are why we think the way we do. They explain why we react the way we do, and at the same time, why we have some of our limiting beliefs. As the back of the book says, this reveals the source of self-limiting beliefs that rob us of joy and create needless suffering. Now keep that in mind. That's something I've really come, in the last 10 months, I've really come to understand that a lot of our issues come from that inner thought that tells us we can't do something. That inner thought that says you're not worthy. That inner thought that says don't talk to them, they're not right for you. Or they'll just laugh at you, leave them alone. These self-limiting beliefs are what stops us from being great. That voice inside our head tells us that we're not good enough. That voice inside our head is what questions us. How can you do that? How can you make something happen? You're not good enough for this, but we are. In this book, we'll give you some ideas and explain to you just how to deal with it, how to get rid of them, how to look at a situation and not be controlled by these old agreements that we made when we were 5 and 6 or in high school. One of the examples that I use now after reading this book, and it wasn't from the book, but it is one that I picked up from somebody else. How often do men grow up and are afraid to approach a woman for whatever reason? But where did that thought come from? Why do we feel that we don't have that the courage to just go up and talk to some female? That limiting belief, that self-limiting doubt that we have could have started with something as simple as a 5-year-old telling a little girl, I like you. And then the girl going, ooh, you got cooties. I'm not going to touch you. Well, okay, I'm sorry. And from that 5-year-old thought is now controlling somebody who's an adult. Now that goes all the way. The book itself uses a great example of the little girl who's singing and laughing and having a great day, but her mother has a migraine. And so the mother, in her pain and her suffering, tells her to shut up and to stop singing because her voice is ugly and she's hurting her mother. The little girl doesn't sing anymore. The little girl doesn't realize that her mother's got the issues, not her. The little girl's shy now. The little girl doesn't want to sing. The little girl thinks her voice is ugly because mom snapped at her. How many situations in our life are controlled because something that happened to us when we were just a little kid? I'm not that little kid anymore. I'm not that little person, and I'm not going to let that little person control me. That judge inside my head that keeps telling me no, it questions how I'm wanting to do something. That voice is getting smaller because I now realize what it's from. When you get a chance, check out the 4 Agreements. It's on iTunes, on audio. It's a wonderful representation of it. I love it. It's unabridged, so the whole thing's there. It takes about 2 hours, real quick. And sit down and read it also. I've done both. I've read it and I've listened to the audio. You get different things. One, you got somebody else's voice telling you, and this one you got our voice, and we can kill this voice. That judge voice that's inside your head, you can kill it with this. I love it to death. Like I said, I'm going to be going over each of the agreements in the future. So just bear with me, get some more knowledge, and I'll try to keep them under 4 minutes. I want to keep that time minute down. I'm hitting over 5 now, so I got to go. Guys, I love you. This is Steve Brown, BrownSupport.com. Have a great night. Take care, and shut that little voice up. You can do what you want.